All right, we are live. Welcome to Ransom Reads. This is my special holiday edition, I guess. Welcome. Great to have you back, Johnny. I'm so happy
Well, thank you for inviting me.
you decided to take time out your day to
I
come.
always like a little bit of gossip, so I'm always here for it.
Yeah,
So.
get some wrestling gossip going because it's a lot that's been going on. A lot in 1 week. But I've been meaning to do something with this channel for, I don't know, the past 3 weeks, but I haven't seen nothing worthwhile until this week. Oh,
Everything happened.
man. So let's start off with one of the biggest topics of the week, I would say. I guess one of the biggest. Is Vince coming back? Because it's been leaked in the Wall Street Journal that Vince said that he got terrible advice to step down, whoever gave him that advice, and he's not paying nobody shit. Uh, they can go kick rocks, and not only that is that he wants to come back to WWE. So there's rumblings about people saying, "We don't want you back, old man. Stay where you're at. We don't even think about coming because we don't want you. We'll send you right back out the door." But it complicates things because Vince owns mostly everything. So can he really come back? How do people really feel about that? Uh let's read on and see. What do you think, Johnny?
I think that in light of another accusation that has popped up, that maybe he should just not, because mind you, WWE is still publicly traded, and so the person at the top trickles down what's going on with the investors and then the stocks and the this and the that. And so I don't think that Vince McMahon ain't gone nowhere, mind you. He still owns the WWE. And so
Mm-hmm.
if he just wants to go behind the scenes and nobody says nothing, then I mean, fine. But he wants to still be involved because he's been working for 60 years and I don't think he should.
Did you see the Vice special? What was it called? The Nine Lives of Vince McMahon? Because Vice came out with some special. I mean, it's the same thing that they always say. It's nothing new or juicy, which people were excited for. But yeah, I mean, he basically was saying, look, all right, nothing's really happened. It hasn't gotten worse. I don't care what y'all got to say about it. I'm coming back. It's my baby. So is he actually coming back is what I want to know.
10 of Wands, Page of Swords. That's a no for me. There's burden and pressure, and then gossip with the Page of Swords, also negative news, justice, and the Ten of Swords. And then the Six of Wands. Somebody important is coming for you too. Something may also be an expose too. And then the Five of Pentacles is there as well. This is not a good idea. If he can, now mind you, free will is a thing, I guess. So he can force himself in, but I wouldn't do it.
Tanya's here. Hey.
Hello. Y'all got Typhoid Mary in the house.
My favorite people. Well, we was just talking about Vince McMahon, and there's been chatter this week, Tanya, that he wants to actually come back to the WWE. Yeah.
Sure.
That he's gotten bad advice, whoever told him to step down, and he doesn't care what y'all got to say about it. He wants to come back and rule. Now, what I pulled on it too, and I got first card out the gate. I got the Emperor card. Of course I do. This man cannot let it go. He can't let it go. He won't let it go. As a matter of fact, the reciprocity here, he might be trying to grease some palms in the back, to try to make things a little bit easier. But ultimately, no, they don't want it back. They do not want him back. He's, especially like what Johnny said, with there's new allegations now. Also, Tanya, he said, F them, I'm not paying them no money, so they can kick rocks. I didn't do that, so it don't matter. So if you want to go ahead and shuffle and pull on it and see
Oh my
what you
goodness.
got.
Oh, I got the first card out was the Two of Cups. Yeah, he's getting bad advice from somebody else. Somebody else is in his ear. And he got the Page of Wands. He might be having some money problems. Is he having some money problems or some home problems?
Oh, definitely some home problems. I can see that.
Let's see what else. Yeah, here it is. There's the Queen of Swords. Oh, wifey poo might be beating him about the head and neck. Somebody tired of something the way it is. Oh, Temperance, he got to get stuff. Yeah, he's been out the limelight too long. He don't
Yeah.
know what to do with himself. This is somebody who his whole life he has been the man in front of the camera. He don't know what to do with himself. He can't stay home doing nothing. He feels like he is in a prison. He feels like he's in a cage. It's bad advice though, but he's gonna make a big old stink. It's entertainment at the end of the day.
They do not want that man back. Their ratings, I mean, the ratings have been pretty much no different, even though let all the little wrestling people tell you, oh, it's so much better. It really hasn't been any different. He's Triple H. He learned from Vince McMahon. NXT was a different animal. It was very small, and you had a whole lot more help. But as far as like financially and like the work culture balance and like wrestlers not, going into panic attacks because Vince McMahon is around the corner and they're afraid that they're going to lose their job at any moment. You know
That's
what I mean?
the thing that changed because Triple H is nicer to the wrestlers than Vince McMahon.
Yes.
So it's a less hostile work environment.
Yes. 1,000%. 1,000%. Triple H went and got back most of the people that Vince McMahon fired.
Yes.
I'd say about half. Maybe most. But speaking of that, how does the locker room really feel? Is there anybody, maybe this is a better question, is there anybody that's actually wants Vince McMahon to come back?
Besides Brock Lesnar.
Besides Brock Lesnar, yes.
I wonder, is that the person that he is in tandem with? Is that his partner in crime?
No, Brock Lesnar said that he was going to leave if Vince McMahon didn't come back.
Oh, so he's the anti-hero.
He's a wrestler, but because Vince McMahon pays him out the wazoo to barely come to work. That's why he's getting such a sweet deal. I can't, to be honest, I can't blame him. Look, if Vince McMahon is out, I'm out of here because I'm never gonna get as good as the deal as I'm getting now.
So the question is
anybody excited for a Vince McMahon return?
Yeah.
Is anybody excited about him? The deck ain't upside down.
There is at least two. I would say 9, but I'm going with 2 because 2 people popped up here. Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Swords. And I bet you one of these is Austin Theory. But there's 2 at least, because here's the 10 of Pentacles, the big company. And then there's 2 knights here. They have a wish for something Vince McMahon was supposed to fulfill. And there's the action. This was like a big thing. I'm going to make you a star kid type of thing. So with the world card, it was a bigger thing. And they were hoping for that bigger thing. And it may have had a little bit of a tepid reaction once Vince McMahon exited stage left. And so, yeah, they would love it if he came back.
Okay.
I got that 9 of Pentacles too. I got that 9 of Pentacles right with Johnny.
Uh-oh.
I got the Page of Pentacles too. Got the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So somebody wants something, but the first card I got is the 7 of Wands inverted and want somebody to give up the fight.
Possibly, because I got the moon. This moon card popped out of the deck, so there's somebody behind the scenes up undercover. Maybe a female. There's a Queen of Cups here. There's a Page of Swords. Maybe somebody, a younger female, possibly, that's behind the scenes that feels like they don't get enough, like they're on ice, like Triple H is putting them on ice. They're behind the scenes, so I don't know. But it's definitely somebody is planning or wants Vince to return for sure. It's not like you hear all these reports how everybody like, oh no, we can't have Vince return. But it's some people that's probably capping because they do want him back for whatever reasons. I don't know if it's because they had a little bit more sway with him. I don't know if it's because they like his style of running the company better. I don't know.
There are quite a few people that I've heard in interviews just recently. Now, the interviews are old, but I just shared them recently. And they were all speaking on Vince McMahon. And they can hate him, they can love him at times, but they all say he's always done something nice for me. And so nobody has a 100% hatred for Vince McMahon.
Right.
They always say he's done at least something nice for me. And so, no, I wouldn't say nobody, but
I mean,
a lot of people.
Now that I'm thinking about that and you say that, Johnny, I'm Zelina Vega maybe, because I remember specifically she had came out and said before Vince fired her, and then she came back because she was running her OnlyFans, but it was just a segue into the next topic, by the way. But because she had a weeb, OnlyFans where she would dress up as characters, it wasn't nothing like too racy, but she would do cosplay on there. She got fired, but she said that Vince thought of her like Stephanie, her own daughter. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's who that is. I come to think of it, I don't remember seeing her on TV too much as of late. Especially since Triple H came, took over. Andrade isn't there, so I don't know I think she might be heading some new faction, but I haven't heard too much about it. So maybe it could be her. But how about this? Is Vince McMahon gonna actually have to give up some money and pay these women? Is he gonna have to come up off of it? Are they gonna make him come up off of it?
Because they're not going for criminal charges. They're suing him, right?
Yeah, monetarily.
They ain't gonna have to screw that.
Ooh. Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yes.
What's going on? The well-mannered Donald Trump, they call him. First card. 6 of Pentacles. You can even give her if you want. Somebody's paying out. 3 of Pentacles.
There it is.
There's possibly a settlement. 8 of Cups, Knight of Swords, Queen of Wands. I'm going with the yep. Some woman is going to get paid out a settlement of some sort.
There it is. What you got, Tanya?
First card, I got the moon. All them little details fisting to come out. Below it, I got justice. These women fisting to get paid, and they gonna get paid. They gonna be making noise while they get paid. And here's the yes right here. Yeah, money. Yes, yeah. He gonna pay. He gonna pay. He gonna pay them. They kids gonna have their way.
I see that it's somebody behind the scenes that has even more, that's sitting onto more information that they're probably going to have to, times will be changing for them, because they're going to have to come out and reveal eventually some of that information that they already know that's behind the scenes that's hidden. So I don't know. What I'm getting is not so much monetarily. So on my side, I don't really see him giving up off no money, but I do see more people coming out I do see that. So it's not over. It is not over.
I think whatever justice is gonna disagree with you, they're gonna say, nah, we can make them pockets go just a little bit deeper.
I hope so. I hope so. He needs to come
I
up
mean, but don't underestimate Jerry McDivitt. So he's gotten
yeah,
Vince
that's
McMahon
true.
out of a whole lot of jams. So
Mhm. That steroid trial in particular.
yeah,
Are there any little offspring that he left around scattered here, hither and thither? Because
Ooh,
there was some
that is the
children that
one
came
thing
up
I
from
have
that.
not heard.
See, that's like I
right?
said, like what I said, the kids gonna have their way. That's what came out of the universe. Is there some babies that he made out there that he gonna be paying for?
I bet not. I think I would have heard that one already.
We
That,
have heard
that,
nothing about it.
That's the power of NDAs.
That's a good question.
but
Let's pull on that then. Let's
if
pull
you
on
got
it.
security,
Let's see.
Are there
Good
any
question.
love children bouncing around?
you got security. What is this? Okay, okay. Does he have children outside of Stephanie and Shane? What's called a child?
Yes, love child.
Does he have children outside? That's what's going
Look,
on.
look at the first card that came up. There's them kids again.
Oh
It's like I didn't even shuffle the doggone cards. 4 cards. I'm gonna say it here. He got at least 2.
no. Yeah, underground somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Let's see. Let's see.
They may be abroad, like schools
Yeah.
in Europe somewhere. Out of sight, out of mind. Well taken care of, though.
Dang. I got a Queen of Cups here. First thing that pops up, Justice card. Right after that, and then a Judgment card. All major arcana here. Might be on to something.
2 cards flew out. They're both yes. So I'm like,
Yeah, somebody's kids gonna have their way.
Something to be revealed.
Okay, well, we'll see.
So we were talking about a little bit briefly on third party ventures with OnlyFans, and that segues into my question of Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose was the NXT Women's Champion for 434 days. She had just dropped the title on Wednesday, got fired on Thursday because it was found out that she was doing some things she should not have been on her. It's not OnlyFans, it's called Fandom or some other knockoff OnlyFans place, which is
Fandemonium. Fandemonium.
I don't know.
I forget the name of it too. But it's
another which is smart on her, because why would you go, if you're gonna push the limits, why would you go on the one that everybody else is on? The more popular one, okay? But she wasn't just doing risky pictures here. She was on the verge of softcore with her husband. Somebody found out about it, took it to Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels said, we have to get the title off her right now. And they fired her. Now, Mandy put on her Twitter, and I love Mandy Rose. I've loved Mandy Rose since she first popped up on NXT before she went on the main roster. I always had a thing for her. She's a phenomenal wrestler. She is beautiful as well as she wants to wrestle, tries to wrestle, works on her craft, and she's not giving up the page. I mean, if anything, she's
Fan time.
fan time. There we go. Thank you, Johnny. She's making more money, allegedly, on fan time as she is even being a WWE superstar. Woo! You see that?
Who walking in your house right now?
Somebody is. Woo!
Look at my hand almost disappeared.
It did. Goodness gracious. So my question, my humble question is, what's gonna happen to Mandy Rose? What's her future looking like? And also, was there any negotiations with her before they canned her? Or did they just can her and was like, you're gone? You know, was there any negotiations like, all right, I pushed it, let's work on this? Or is this, no, if Mattel sees this, you know, they'll have our ass and they just fire her. So
that's an important point though, because WWE cracked down on the third party deals. But they did say so beforehand. So it didn't just come out right and say, you can't do Twitch, we're firing you. You can't do this, we're firing you. They saying, if you're going to do this, we're going to take all the money and then give you a cut, or you can stop doing it altogether. And so I get the 6 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. I don't think there was a conversation. I think that they felt as though this is not like Twitch. This is a stain on the PG era type deal, even though they curse on TV and all these other type of things. So where's the line of decency? You haven't actually drawn it. Not to mention anyway. But there is that. The Queen of Wands and the 10 of Cups, but she is going to land on her feet some way, somehow here, though, with the active woman and the harmony. But there's still some sort of, with the 3 of Swords, there's something that still needs to be worked out because this was not done properly. There was something wrong here because it ends in the Tower. All this ends in the Tower. So there's going to be some exposure with this too. Something else in the details may come out because this was done way too fast with the Knight of Swords. Something is wrong here in the details of it all. And that's what's going to start merging out. So keep an eye on the wrestling news on this. This story is going to evolve.
Okay, I'm itching. I don't even know who this person is. First card, I get the 4 of Cups. There was discussion. There's like a code of ethics or something that she knew or something. Her contract is in there. However, like Johnny said, something was done wrong. They did her dirty. They're trying to take away from her her legitimate cash, but there's going to this may go to litigation. She may take them to court, and if she does, she may very well win some money on her behalf on how they terminated her. I got the 5 of Swords here. There was some dirty business. Somebody at the top did her dirty. She walked away from a deal, and then they are maybe conjuring up or hyping up a whole lot of stuff to justify them terminating her. But there's a whole lot of nastiness that was done to her. I got the 6 of Pentacles too. She gonna get some money out of them. This is not over. They did something wrong, legally wrong, I feel.
Dang. What I got the Page of Wands and then the Empress. So to me, this reads as like the idea that she had, how she wanted to kind of expand a little bit more outside of what she was doing. Because the thing with WWE is they say that you're an independent contractor, but they treat you like an employee. So they want to, unless they get a cut of it, you can't do it. And I understand you got, since it's publicly traded, you have Mattel, and we can't have a Mandy Rose Mattel doll, and somehow little Timmy finds, softcore online of Mandy Rose, even though it's behind the paywall. But that's neither here nor there, So I get it. Then you have the act here in itself of the tower moment, and the King of Swords, which is basically bringing the hammer down. I think, like what the report was saying, it was Shawn Michaels. It was one person alone. This wasn't a group effort where everybody usually comes together and says, "Oh, okay, we're gonna fire this person. What do you think? How should we go forward?" No, this was one person who brought the hammer down. Who said, "No, doesn't matter. We're shutting this down right now." But at the same time, Mandy knew what she was doing. Okay, the Seven of Swords, she was being sneaky. She even said, reports came out how she was putting on her fan time account, how she may get in trouble for pushing the line more and more and more, because then you have the Ace of Swords, so the clarity behind that. But at the end of the day, Nine of Pentacles, Mandy Rose is going to be fine. Wherever she lands, if anything, she's got more spotlight on her, because I had no idea she had this account. And I know for the past week, everybody has been clamoring to get a glimpse or see what was going on with her. So
this is so counterintuitive, productive, counter everything. If you have a person on your TV, this is not a daytime talk show or a daytime kids show. This is wrestling. It's supposed to be gritty. It's violent. It's worked violent, but it's still violent. You have a person that is getting all of this attention. Put them out there more. Get the clicks and the likes and the views from this person. They got something else going on over here to where people are interested. And if you just ran across her and you knew who the hell she was, and then you Googled her name, she's on the WWE. Let me go watch that too. Like, get the attention from these people and use it for your TV show. This is not a TV show that has a history of PG material. Vince McMahon called John Cena the N-word on TV. So it's like you don't have a company that is full of nursery rhymes. Sable in the swimsuit competition had no top on. So it's like you have a precedent of behavior that should not frown upon OnlyFans, fan time, just for fans, Pornhub, whatever. Like, this is not shocking. These people come out there little to nothing anyway. So what are you hiding at this point?
It all depends on who gets to sexualize them. And in this case, Vince McMahon, the people in the back can sexualize the women. They can push the line little by little. But I mean, if anything, before the PG era and they had, became a publicly traded company, the women's wrestlers used to go on Playboy. They would pose for Playboy. China posed, Sunny posed, Sable posed. They posed for Playboy, but they got bought out. So now they have Mattel sponsors, and it's more for kids now. Now you want to, as soon as they can't have that. Can't have that anymore.
Why do you hire a woman as a wrestler and then the first thing you do is want her to get breast implants? You want her to be sexualized on TV. So what is the problem here exactly?
Sure. I mean, there was a whole to-do when Athena was in the new 2.0 NXT, and they said that, you should dress more like Mandy. You should be more sexualized like Mandy. And she's like, that's not my style. It's nothing against Mandy. I love Mandy. She's great. That works for her, but that doesn't work for me. So they can push that on.
They had Ty Dillinger. He's now Sean Spears in AEW. Ty Dillinger, the perfect 10, is what he was. He was in foot fetish magazines and foot fetish porn sites. Like, he was doing softcore though, so he wasn't naked, but he at the same time he was there. So why didn't you fire him?
Because he's a male. That's why. He's a male. I mean, in all fairness, apparently Mandy was she was topless in her pool. She showed a little bit of that. So she did push the line. She did. But I think they need to come to some kind of agreement because the way that they fired her was kind of.
I think that's going to be the real.
Well, see, this is what I don't understand about us Americans. There are men walking around with bigger boobs than a whole bunch of women, and they are not censored. There are men who have breasts that look better than some women's. And they are not censored. I'm so upset about this because this is what really keeps us as women down. Because I mean, we can't even enjoy the sun or the beach because we have a little bit more fat on the upper part of our body. And then they use that as justification and call it perversity when there is no difference between a woman's chest and a man's chest. And I mean no difference because a man can lactate too.
Because a man has sexualized a women's chest and not sexualized a man's chest. And so since you're a grown man, you can't walk past a topless woman without losing control. Is that what it is? And so now you got to put a shirt on.
Yeah. I have to censor you for my impropriety.
And see, that's the whole thing. And I think that's probably what is going to come to it. It's like, how are you going to fire me? Because you said it was softcore. So the only thing she was probably showing was her upper body and her butt, which she shows every time she goes to wrestle.
That and simulating, the
I don't care if she was humping the Empire State Building. It still is a double standard. I think that's
that. Yeah, it is for sure.
Anyway,
so where's Mandy gonna go then? Where is she gonna go? Will she go to Impact Wrestling? Apparently, Tommy Dreamer has come out after this hullabaloo and said we would be lucky to take Mandy Rose. We would take her. So is she going to Impact or will she go to Tony Khan's promotion? I would suggest she don't. But I mean, she would at least be on TV. So,
she'll get over there. She'll get her first match. She'll lose to Rio, and then you'll never see her again. Where is she going?
And that's crazy. I got the Queen of Cups for the first person you said for her going to, and the Queen of Wands for the second person you said.
So the first person was Impact. The second place was AEW.
I think she's coming back to WWE.
You think so?
Her first read that I did, it says she's going to land on her feet, whatever it is. And then she gets the sun. So she's going to be fine, though. Whatever's happening, she's got some good luck coming her way because I think she was done wrong. But here with the Chariot and the High Priestess, once the details start to emerge, I think they're going to have to backtrack. Because I get the Ten of Swords and the Page of Wands. There's some sort of talks here that go by the wayside. Like they end. So whatever her journey is for moving forward or moving on, because the Page of Wands is also a discovery card, that ends. So she is in talks, I think, legally with other people. But they may do one of those things where when Vince was there, he'd offer you a contract so you did not leave. And then 2 months later, fire you again. So it's like, I think she's going to come back, though. But we'll see.
Okay. What you got, Tanya?
Oh, no, I didn't even pull on it because the last one said the litigation and everything.
Yeah.
But I had the two queens. I had the Queen of
Cups and Wands, I think.
Cups and Wands.
Yeah. So I'm kind of agreeing with Johnny on this one. I think once this litigation, she's gonna have somebody by the short and curlies behind what they did to her, and she's gonna. I think once it's said and done, and she starts putting the grip on, because I don't feel like this is somebody who's gonna back down. If they tried to scare her, they kind of picked the wrong one. I feel like because she ain't gonna she ain't gonna roll over and let him walk over her.
Yeah.
She gonna have her way.
I
It
get
may take
that.
a while, but she gonna have her way after some litigation, or to stop litigation from happening.
I'm getting that she has a things planned, like things prepared. She's got some things that she wants to create and some stuff in the works. I think what she's going to do with this Six of Pentacles and this Temperance card, I think she's going to stay independent for a while. I think she will probably go to Impact, but it'll be like those short, like people don't stay in Impact for long. I think she's going to stay independent. That way
Can I
she
ask
can
a follow
bounce
up question?
around. What'd you say, John?
Can I ask a follow up question?
Sure.
Because that would make sense too. What you're saying about the just stay independent, is her fan time going to increase to where she ain't got to rush back to go? I mean, because just like they had a conversation about The Rock and Hollywood and all this, if you can make tons of money and not take bumps, why not? So I ain't got to get slammed and broken and all this type of stuff, and I still get to make money. Like, is her fan time going to increase in revenue? What's going on? The new publicity she has.
I mean, think about it. This whole debacle is one big advertisement.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Johnny,
I think Johnny got on the right thing there. It's like, because look at the first card I got the Ten of Swords. That's that just things coming to a complete and utter end. Stop. Then the Three of Cups. That total victory. That three women. Ain't no man in there. That's and we're here to get the full right after that. Her just walking into her sunshine, creating her own reality. You know, changing everything about herself. And then here the last card is the World. You know, I think Johnny is right on it.
Yeah.
She gonna make more doing what she want to do.
Johnny is correct, because I get the Queen of Cups first out the gate here, and then I get the Sun card, right? And then we got the Six of Wands, the Victory card here. People giving it up for you, all around you, giving you your accolades, your flowers. So yeah, I think it definitely will increase for sure. One big advertisement, man. I mean, it was so many wrestling fans who was like, "Oh, Mandy Rose has a what? That's horrible. Where do you go to see it
at?" but here's the thing. I think she is going to be able to keep her OnlyFans and wrestle. She gonna win on both fronts.
Yeah, that was my independent idea. She would just stay independent. That way, I don't need to sign any contracts. I'm making enough money with, the fan time account, and I still get to wrestle and get more eyes to wherever I'm going.
Oh, to be young and hot and having OnlyFans.
She's my age, which is hilarious. 32. I said, "Go on, get it, girl."
That's young.
Yes.
You can be old and fat, still have one. It's an audience for everybody.
It is.
That is
true. Everybody has their thing. So my next question I have is about William Regal. All right, so William Regal he got fired by Vince McMahon when Vince McMahon was still there. And he showed up in AEW like in March, I think. created a whole faction with Daniel Bryan, Mox, Wheeler Utah, and Claudio, former Swiss Superman Cesaro. They centered all this around him just for him to be written off TV, do a double turn, help MJF, which is the heel, against his own faction, for him to get beat up and written off TV, to be like, well, he might be going back to WWE, even though everybody thought he would stay there for a 3-year deal. So there's a lot of commotion as to why. People think because Triple H came into power, there was a clause written into his contract to where if Triple H were to come in power, then, the 3-year would not be, it'd be terminated. So he could go back at the end of the year. Tony had came out, he was on a conference call and stated that I guess Tony's mom was in the hospital, unfortunately, and she had a stroke, and he wanted William Regal to go back to WWE with his son because his son is in NXT. So I just want to know what's the real story, like what happened, because it seemed like it was so abrupt. It seemed like, William Regal does seem like a WWE guy, but now with Vince threatening to come back, who knows what this means for Regal? Is he coming back to WWE, and why? Why did he leave?
I have a whole slew of opinions, but I'm trying not to influence my cards. Let's see. Why did he leave? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did he leave? What's the real reason?
Queen of Swords. 6 of Wands, High Priestess, somebody in charge, though. Then there's the Devil and the Temperance. Someone was having a cold and hot period. Like it was off and on. There was some imbalance within a person that was in charge, 6 of Wands. So I'm going Vince McMahon. Now, mind you, I think I'm influencing as well because Vince McMahon is not present in the read, though. And so there was something though about going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Okay, I see what this is. Okay, this is not answering that question. William Regal played Tony Khan big time when Tony Khan was in the hospital with his mother. This is according to Tony Khan. And then he got a phone call from William Regal. William Regal said, I want to go be with my son. And so he said, okay, I release you, fly like a bird. He played Tony Khan when Tony Khan was vulnerable in the hospital with his mother, talking about son and fathers and mothers and sons and family and this. And, oh, I really want to go be with my son. And I wouldn't dare keep you from being with your son. My mother's in the hospital. And, he played on him. And so there's something about, because I got the devil. And so there's manipulation here. As far as, I think it was just Vince McMahon. He fires everybody. Why did he get fired? Yeah, erratic, Knight of Swords, Tower, 8 of Pentacles work. So somebody just suddenly woke up one day, I don't need you. And he's been known to do that. And then you can always come back. Because mind you, William Regal stated, I was paid until April. He got hired by the AEW in March. So he was the first person in the history of wrestling to get paid by 2 promotions at the same time. So he still landed on his feet. Vince McMahon and him didn't end on a bitter note, but at the same time, Vince McMahon will fire you because the wind blew too hard. So it just happens that way. But I think everything is fine though. Mm-hmm. He's a Triple H guy, so he's coming back.
Yeah. So just leaving what Johnny said, because I don't want to repeat what he said. I'll tell you because he's coming. It's home. That's where
Yeah.
his strength is.
Yeah.
He didn't want to leave in the first place, and he
No.
knows there he is a winner. When he goes home, he is a winner through and through, and everything that happens is all politics.
Yep. I got something similar, but it's more speaking to the AEW side. Why he, besides the fact that WWE is home, because I do get like the Page of Wands, then the King of Pentacles underneath. I always think of the King of Pentacles as Vince, uh, in particular. So he's going back to somebody who is familiar, where a lot of the money is. I'm sure he was being paid handsomely regardless, but he has strong feelings with the Strength card here too, and the Ace of Cups. He has strong feelings to return back to. He feels like he's committed with the Lovers card. He's committed to the WWE. Now it's going to be a while before, even though he'll be signed back. I think this is speaking to the clause of he can't show up on WWE television for at least a couple of years. I think they wrote that in the clause. Like, even though you're going back, it's not like you could go back and then scream War Games on NXT immediately, within the next couple of weeks. Like, that's not going to happen. But yeah, he does feel he felt the need to get out of there because he was not happy. This was the Ten of Cups in reverse. It was an unhappy home. Like, I'm pretty sure like he liked the wrestlers there. He tried to give them advice as much as he could, but it just wasn't home to him. And with that piece on William Regal and the talent at AEW. Now, there was this story that came out about, William Regal tried to bestow his knowledge on the AEW locker room, and he got Heisman'd, except for like a couple of people, like what is his name? Brian Pillman Jr. came out and was like, excuse me, I'll have you know that me and Lee Moriarty and one other person, we actually wanted to learn from Regal while he was there. So it was not all of us. So what I want to read on is that really true? Because you hear more reports like that was bullshit, people actually did want to sit here and hear from Regal. It's not like he was standing in a room for, in himself, talking to air. That's not how that happened. So what went down?
See, I read on why did he leave WWE? You meant AEW, and I got the wrong one. Okay, because that is interesting. And I personally, again, I don't want to influence the cards. I personally believe they did not listen to him. Because that has been repeated by other people other than him. And so, who was it? The one with the fight with CM Punk said he doesn't take advice. And the other people who wouldn't listen to Jim Ross, and the other people who don't listen to any of the, the over the hill gang, as they got the Jake Roberts and the Tully Blanchards and all the elders. It's like you got all this knowledge on your roster. Why do you still do stupid things? So is it true?
Not listening.
That they didn't listen to Regal. Yes. Nine of Swords, Page of Wands. That would be him talking right there with the Page of Wands. And then this is your strife and your worry, your anxiety, or this type of thing. He could be talking to the wall. Ten of Wands, a burden, obstacles, Ace of Pentacles as well. So that was my guess. That was the first card I drew. So no, they were not listening to him because they don't have to. Because you may be a veteran, you can impart all this knowledge, but in this company at this time, what I'm doing is working. It's working to the satisfaction of Tony Khan. It may not be working to the satisfaction of the over the hill gang who thinks it could be better. all of the Tully Blanchards and the Arn Anderson, who's seen this thing done differently when they were doing it. Okay, but you did it your way. The way I'm doing it right now satisfies my boss. I don't need to listen to what you say. And all I think what they're pretty much is saying is you don't need to leap over the top rope every 2.5 seconds and break your ankles and knees and things. So anyway, but I don't think they want to listen because they don't have to. But
Okay. What you got, Tanya?
I got basically do what you're told or leave. I mean, that's the easiest way to say it. But the whole thing is there's a lot of meetings. There's a lot of little secret stuff. Because it starts and ends with secrets. Secrets and just little bathroom under the table deals, including within the three or however many wrestling organizations. There is so much dirty stuff going on under the table between the three of them. And I get 3. Is there 3?
Technically, I mean, you only have the big 2, but I mean, you could add Impact in there, but
Okay, well, I'm getting 3 that there's like under the table some dirty dealing stuff that's going on, like almost like insider trading. Like you'll leave this group. We'll trade you over here with this hype. You'll go wrestle here for a little while. Then we'll segue you over here, and then we'll bring you back up here. It's like it's like they're getting exposure on a whole bunch of different platforms to try. It's like a whole big. It's a money-making scheme, but it looks like they're using the players, but they're bouncing around for exposure, storylines, to pick up more dramatic stuff. But there's a lot of like insider trading under the table, but it is going on between the people who own these big entities, not the fighters. So they're keeping the fighters locked in these crazy contracts, telling they can't do things under the table while they themselves are doing stuff under the table, manipulating all the fighters. If that makes sense.
That's interesting. I got they was not interested in listening to him because you got the 2 of Cups and then you got it upside down. So no, you're not interested in him at all. You got the Ace of Pentacles inverted as well. The opportunity is buried. We're going to bury our head in the sand with the 4 of Cups. The disappointment, the apathy of, I'm not. It's in one ear probably, and then out the other. And Regal is like, well, I thought you brought me here for this particular reason. I thought you brought me here to help the younger kids, with your new product that's only been around for 3 years. And then on the bottom of the deck, I got the 7 of Swords. So there's some underhandedness going on. I don't know if that has to do with the actual story being leaked, because there's a messiness with people leaking stories anyway. So we don't know. So the next question I got up is Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks. She is the hottest woman in professional wrestling right now because everybody just wants to know where is she going, what's she doing. And she has landed, or she will be landing, in Wrestle Kingdom in Japan, which leads everybody to believe that when she walked out with Naomi back in the summer, this past summer on Vince, that her deal is going to be expiring in January. Because I do remember her putting up, anybody who wants me to wrestle, I'm not having any bookings till January. Now, the little tidbit that has come out since then is over the summer, there was rumblings where Triple H first took over. They said that, he was trying to get them back, both of them back. There were talks, and the talks fell through. Now we're hearing that was because they didn't see the value in Sasha Banks. they definitely wouldn't like to pay her as much as Charlotte Flair and or Becky Lynch, which is insane. Not surprising, but insane. You have a woman who is extremely talented, one of the best pillars of female professional wrestling. She elevates anybody she gets into that ring with.
Now, mind you, I've heard that opinion from everybody.
Uh-huh.
You can get one or two naysayers, but all of the wrestling professionals with podcasts, all of them say the same thing.
Uh-huh.
She's one of the best.
She's amazing. She's better than Charlotte. She's better than Becky. But they're not gonna. She has ties to the industry. She's the cousin of Snoop Dogg. She's been in the Star Wars and the Mandalorian. She just finished shooting a movie. She just was on the red carpet on the runway. She's coming out with a makeup line. This woman is a bona fide star. But they looked at her and said, no, we think you're not worth all of that. Matter of fact, we think you're over the hill. We'd rather put the title on Charlotte and Becky and do the same matches we've always been doing. We don't see the value in you, colored girl. Sorry, which is insane, and I don't blame her for walking out. What I want to know is, what's wrong with them? What?
They racist.
What is the issue? Well, there's two parts to this question. What is Mercedes Future, which is her government name? What's Mercedes Future in the world of wrestling? And what the fuck's wrong with WWE? I know what's wrong, but I want to ask the card specifically. What's wrong with them? It's money. It's money on the table. At a certain point, I understand you say, okay, racism, but you're losing out on money at a certain point. If your racism is getting in the way of the money, I'm confused. I'm a bit confused here. So let's see what the cards have to say about it.
Since I got mine laid out, I'm gonna pick them up. Look at this. First card is the Ace of Swords. She is a star. The second card, the Sun. She is everything they throw at her is gonna bounce off her. I'm rubber, you're glue. What bounces off of me sticks to you. The next card is the Six of Wands. She is a winner. It doesn't matter. The more that they try to take away from her, the more she gonna blow up. She is the magician. This is her manifestation. So them trying to take her because she's beautiful, because she's black, because she's talented, they want to take everything away from her because that can't be the face. No, we got to put some white people there. That I'm sorry. Well, I didn't say it.
Yes.
We gotta put the face of what we want.
What it is, truth.
Okay, so there's going to be a significant moving away from that type of thinking. Let these people continue to do what they do. They're hurting themselves in the end. This woman is going to be just fine. She's going to be better than fine. She is going to be sought after. Every slight that they do her, she going to turn it into opportunity.
Hey, now.
And I get the Three of Swords, so I don't think Sasha Banks and the WWE ever had that relationship to where she could write her own ticket and do her own thing, get her own way, so forth, so forth. She is a person who got over, therefore we can elevate you, but you still are subject to bad WWE creative. Because I get the Knight of Wands and the Temperance. So taking charge of her own destiny, her own career was just not the thing that they really wanted. There was a box they needed to put her in. I think that's what she had the problem with in the first place is you're part of the tag team champions and you're about to fight your own tag team partner for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Like nothing makes sense. And you don't put Charlotte and Becky in these situations. Why are you putting me in stupid creative? And And so, anyhow, you get the Three of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. This relationship is just not good whatsoever. It never was. There's pressure for her to be somebody else other than what the fans accepted. Because a lot of the problems with wrestling promotions is when a person gets over on their own, they don't know what to do. And so it's like, wait, you got over it, you're a big star, but you don't fit in our creative box. We have to put you back in it. And she ain't really about that life because their creative is stupid. And so people talk about Tony Khan and his, but they the one who came up with the Bray Wyatt Funhouse puppet show. So and Chili McFreeze. So WWE creative has not always been the greatest. And I think their relationship put her in a box she didn't want to be in. That's what I think.
No, 1,000%. Because the first card I get out the gate too is the Ten of Cups, but it's inverted. So a very unhappy family to which she knows better. Like she knows that this isn't the place for me. This is probably the second time she walked out. I think it's either the second or the third time, right, Johnie? She walked out on WWE and she walked away from all of this with the Eight of Cups here. And then you have the Seven of Swords, which I think this is on WWE's part as far as manipulating things to suit them, to suit their creative needs. And it's almost like Vince gets upset when you do get over on your own. And he will, quote unquote, put you back in your place if the fans say, no, we want that one. I don't care about this one, okay? I don't care. You're not supposed to like this one. And then he'll bury them or try to bury them because that's what Vince does, and he's an old, spiteful man. But you do have the Chariot. So she knows her direction. She knows where she's going. Intuitively, she knows that she's bigger than this company. She knows her worth. She is the sun. She has so many things that she is doing, that she can do, and that she is working on doing right now. Besides the New Japan stuff, like creatively, she's going to set it up to where this girl is going to be everywhere. And they're going
to have to wrestle for it.
Begging her to come back. I mean, but how Vince is anyway, he probably wants to play the long game. You get your worth up and then come back to me. We'll throw all the money at you, on the back end. But by then, I don't think she's going for that. She does, because she doesn't need them. She does not need them. That's the thing. Vince thinks that, the wrestlers need him, but not all of them do.
No. And that's a good thing for her. You don't have to wrestle forever. The Rock has showed you that right now. Yep. You can go do other avenues, do other careers, do other this, do other that, and never, ever have to take another bump for the rest of your life if you don't want to. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
because I hear his voice when you say, don't like this one, like this one. It's like he did Daniel Bryan. Don't like this one, like Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Roman Reigns at the time. And so.
No, he was getting booed. I mean, the fact that I felt so bad for Roman at that time. Like, because it wasn't his fault. He was just doing what he was told. The fact that you actually wrote, is suffering succotash, son, for a grown man on live TV. I don't know where you think that who is supposed to be getting over with. I don't know what's in your mind, Vince, but that's not what we're doing here. It's just horrible. I felt so bad. Oh my God. Oh, serious. So, CM Punk, where is he going? Because there's been rumblings, right, that now he may go back to WWE, that he may have been talking that Tony Khan is going to cut him out of his contract, be like, here's your money, just go, just get out of here. What's happening? What's going on with CM Punk? Is he going to WWE, or is he done with wrestling, which he should be? Just get out of wrestling, okay?
He's in a couple movies too. Go do that.
Do that. Do anything else.
Doesn't Jason Statham need a wingman?
Because I've never been a CM Punk fan. I mean, I don't hate him or nothing. I was never a person who like, oh, a CM Punk match or a promo. Like I would tune in to SmackDown just to hear The Rock talk, especially back in the day when he used to put the shirt over Michael Cole's head and all that. Yeah. Hilarious. I've never said, ooh, CM Punk, let me watch. It's the bathroom break match for me. So it's, it's just 10 of Wands, there's a lot of burden. He may be stuck in place for a little bit. So we may have seen not the last of Chick Magnet, but we may I still can't believe what that's the we may not see him for a couple winters. The 5 of Wands and the 6 of Wands, he's still in battle with someone who is in charge or important, or he may be embattled with a story of some sort too. There's some importance put upon something. The Empress and the 4 of Pentacles, he may be working on something creative. And so he may be doing a new venture at least until he goes back into the WWE, possibly. But he's working on a new creative venture for right here. May even have something to do with music. So we'll see.
Okay. Anything for wrestling. Because his body can't take it. What you got, Tanya?
First card I got is the Fool. Like he's gonna set off to find whatever it is that he wants to do. Second card, 5 of Cups, looking at that loss. He's considering what he's gonna put in the rearview mirror, because the next card is the 4 of Swords. So something is about to get put to bed. Something is about to get. He's considering what to do next. Then I get the King of Swords. So the power, command, and authority, him taking charge of his own life, writing his ticket. Like I said, Jason Statham needs a wingman. You know, there's a whole bunch of action movies need to be made out there, I'm quite sure. And the last card that I drew is Temperance. So he's looking at what it is to get himself back into balance, I feel. I think he kind of sees that where he is in wrestling, he's not gonna have a big place there for very much longer. He's got to look for something else.
Especially when you get hurt every 10 seconds.
Every 10 seconds. It's like your body ultimately, I don't think it's holding up, Chick Magnet Phil. I don't think it's holding up. Because the situation he's caused with the 10 of Cups in reverse and the Magician, he's caused this situation. I understand it was stressful, or maybe people might have been leaking things that he particularly did not like, but it's a way to handle it. And that was definitely not the way to handle it. I think he, with the 6 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles on the bottom of here, I think he's weighing his options. He's seeing where he could have the most success in. I know he's hopped into like the UFC stuff as far as like commentating on there. But I think he's kind of burnt out at this point. Like to Johnny's point, I think he's going to be on ice for a little bit. He might want to lay low for a little bit, but he does have plans. He is thinking of how he's going to, where he's going to go. He has to be strategic with where he's going to go, because now you've pissed off pretty much a whole wrestling entity community. I mean, we gave you a chance with the debacle that happened last time. People was on his side, but you've seen how he's been catered to, at least with AEW, and everything still fell apart. So it leads me to believe that there's only one common denominator here. You got the Ace of Cups with this overwhelming emotion, but then you do have the 9 of Pentacles on the bottom. So he'll be okay. Like, he still has money. I'm sure he has money saved up. I mean, Tony paid out the wazoo for him. So, he's got enough cash flow where he'll be all right, even if he decides to sit on his butt and not do wrestling again. He'll be fine.
Mhm.
So the next question I got, this is another AEW question, but we're hearing that the talent is pissed at Tony Khan because he keeps hiring all these scrubs. He keeps hiring more and more wrestlers, and the wrestlers that were, the originals keep getting pushed down way to the bottom because you don't have enough screen time to present all these people, and they just sit on ice. So is that report true? Are the AEW locker room and talent, are they getting a bit frustrated because Tony keeps hiring more and more people? There's not enough space.
QT Marshall made a comment too about, because he was helping Tony write the shows or format them, I think. And he was saying it's really hard to get everybody on TV. And I'm thinking, stop hiring 58 million people.
Right?
Because I get it, Tony Khan, he's got the money, so it's like names. I just want names. I want to, because again, he's booking wrestling. He's not trying to make money. He just wants to book wrestling because this is a fantasy for him. And so he's putting everybody he possibly can on his roster, but you can't put all that roster on TV. That's why your pay-per-views are 5 hours and you still didn't display everybody.
Uh-huh.
8 of Cups, 3 of Cups. Yes, that is true. Some people are very kind of upset because they kind of want to abandon the old way, as they feel as though he is doing. The 10 of Wands and 4 of Pentacles, they feel weighed down or stuck in place as well. They may have been under the impression that they were going to have a storyline too, which some of the wrestling professionals out there was trying to tell Tony Khan, everybody doesn't need a storyline, because if everybody has one, then you just have a show full of storylines. Some people you just book to wrestle. They're just to fill in until the next, that way the storylines stand out.
Yes.
Oh, these two people are having a feud, wrestle. These two people have, like, you got something to come back and watch. You need filler. And some people are just filler, but I think everybody is under the impression they're important. And so then there's the Fool and the Harmony. And so Tony Khan is unfortunately not taking this by the horns and saying, I can't put you on TV. The end. He's trying to be too nice. I don't think he is in his heart is not a wrestling promoter or booker, because he can't be mean, which is why anytime somebody's mean to him, he turns out to be the baby face, and then like Punk turns out to be the heel, because you just buried Tony Khan at the media scrum and everybody likes Tony Khan. And so he doesn't know how to be mean, and all of these people are under the impression they're important. So yes, they don't like it.
Not surprised. What you got, Tanya?
I only pulled 2 cards, and I got the Moon and the 8 of Pentacles. It's just,
This is hard. It's hard running a wrestling promotion.
It is. It's real hard.
Especially with Ken Tanker's juiced up bodybuilders. And so it's
Why are they upset? So the first thing I got was the Page of Pentacles, but I got it reversed. I think that speaks to them feeling like they don't have enough value as far as in the company to be put out there. And then look, I got the 8 of Pentacles too, Tanya. So there's that 8 of Pentacles, the working, and then the 3 of Wands expansion. I think some of them are thinking about going, to be honest. They got their mind set on other places that they could be venturing off to.
they gotta pay rent.
Yes.
They gotta pay rent.
If Tony ain't.
here's my problem though. Where you gonna go? because if you're going to go to the WWE, then you're still going to be a little bitty fish in a very big pond.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, you're a big fish in a very little pond, but there's a lot of other big fish in there too. And so that's why Tony Khan is not Vince McMahon. Nobody would bring that to Vince McMahon with the confidence that you could bring it to Tony Khan, because Vince McMahon is a person that lets you know you're still disposable if your name is not Rock and Austin. You're disposable. You're not a John Cena. I don't need you that bad. Especially if you let a Daniel Bryan go, you let a CM Punk go. These people don't move the needle all that much, as AEW has shown you. The fans like them, though. But he will still get rid of you. Tony Khan doesn't want to fire anybody. Big Swole, Marco Stunt, nobody. It's like, I need these people to like me. And that's his problem.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to strike some fear in the locker room if you're not going to put everything on TV. It's like, you got to be an ass a little bit. So.
No, I mean, yeah, if it looks like I can stuff Tony Khan in the locker, then, you might want to toughen up just a little bit.
Or get somebody else to do it. Get you someone, an attack dog.
Delegate.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. I understand you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but like what you said, Johnny, with Marco Stunt, you can't even call this boy. You can't call this man and say, hey, I don't think I have anything for you. I think this isn't gonna work out, at least not right now. We'll keep in touch. You can't even call the man. It's just like, oh, I don't know. Are you working there? Well, I don't know.
That's what he did, basically. He just didn't call you back. Am I fired? Am I not? Do I need to come? Do I just wait in the parking lot till he walks out and catch him? Or what am I supposed to do?
That's the whole feeling that I'm getting about that locker room. There's so many people that are seriously struggling financially because they are not getting the time. They're not getting, they're like, what's up? Am I going to fight? Am I not going to fight? What's going to happen? People's futures. Who's working the Kroger bagging groceries.
Because Tony Khan cannot be scared of Jelly, Janela, and Marco Stunt. Marco Stunt is 5 feet tall, 98. If he sneezes too hard, he blows his own self off the chair.
Right.
So it's like, you can't be that afraid. You just got to be liked, though.
Okay. Gotta be. I mean, that doesn't allow you to be liked either. Because from what I heard, Joey Janela don't like TK too much right now as it is, just how everything went down.
I mean, he doesn't need Joey Janela.
He don't.
Just fire him and bye. The fans don't even like you. Like, what? You just were in some promotion where you set your foot on fire and didn't know how to put it out. So why do I want you on my TV? I don't. Go away.
Go away. Get out of here. Are Kevin Von Erich's sons still wrestling? I don't know. Are they, Johnny? I don't know.
They're gonna make a movie out of the Von Erichs.
How old would they be?
MGF's gonna be in it actually too.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Von Erich movie, and Zac Efron is gonna play one of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the wrestling movies are starting to come out, so it should be interesting.
Well, it's time to tell the stories of the 70s and 80s.
It's about that time. I would think so. I mean, but wrestling was a wild, them stories, they had to shut Dark Side of the Ring down for that very purpose. You telling too much of this business, it's getting too hot. We can't, no, we don't want to rehash all of that. People are getting canceled. We can't do that.
It's because you have a bunch of privileged men, especially privileged white men, who did whatever they wanted to do to anybody they wanted to do it. And they just don't want you to tell anybody, that's all.
I don't have this this question down, but it just came to me. speaking of wrestling movies, are there going to be any good ones? Are they actually going to be any good? That's what I want to know.
So the Ace of Cup flipped over in my hands. So I'm gonna say yeah, something's gonna be pretty good.
All right.
Maybe even a tear jerker. It's gonna be all emotional.
Okay.
Yes, in the fall, possibly, or it ramps up in the fall or something of that nature. But yes, Three of Cups, Ace of Swords, Knight of Cups, Eight of Cups, King of Wands. It's some man. If it's not centered around him, as in the story itself, he has a lot to do with the story. So if it was talking about like a territory or something, then you can talk about the whole territory, but one person would be important in it, like a Jerry Lawler or something. So there's something about a story where one person is prominent in that story. But yeah, a good one. Well received one, let me say it that way. Good is subjective to anybody, but it'll be well received.
See, I think that's kind of what I'm getting to. Because the first card out the gate, I got the Emperor, but it's in reverse. So, somebody who's ever going to be heading these movies, I don't know if they're going to have I don't know if they're going to be up to code as far as it necessarily matching what happened, the stories, the Ten of Pentacles, like the legacy and everything. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be on the up and up. But yeah, with the Four of Wands on the end there, for sure. I mean, people are going to enjoy it. Like, people are going to have a good time.
A little creative license.
Don't they always? But don't they always?
But I'm having this feeling there might be some type of like a lifetime something, like a mini series that's gonna happen. But I think it's not about male wrestlers; it's about female wrestlers.
Okay. Now there was Glow. They canceled Glow, didn't they, Johnny? Didn't they?
I hadn't heard of that.
Glow was on Netflix. They had Awesome Kong. She was playing in there. And it was about, the ladies, women wrestlers in the 80s. It was a good show. I mean, they canceled it. Right? I think. Yeah, it's called Glow. Ladies of Wrestling.
Ladies of Glow.
They could do China's story. That would be a tearjerker because it ended in tragedy.
We've been waiting.
She's the one that had the ginormous breasts, right?
No, she was more of a body. Well, she got them later, but she was more of the body build. She was the one that they would book to fight men because she was bigger and stronger than the women.
I loved China growing up. Us little girls was like, oh, you had China, you had Jacqueline. You had Lita, you had Trish Stratus, like those were the core people. But China was wonderful. They called her the eighth wonder of the world. She couldn't wrestle for shit, but
she was just big.
She was just big and brolic, and she ended up having surgery to soften her features. Because she was.
She needed it, though. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna.
But. Do you think Triple H and Stephanie would allow such a thing?
No.
Because that exposes them bad. Ooh, that exposes them bad. I don't know if
this would not be a WWE feature.
No. I would love to see it. Well, I know it wouldn't be a WWE feature, but I'm just saying, like, would they try to get in on that? Be like something about my likeness, or throw their weight around? I'm wondering. To
just look for a movie about women in wrestling, and it's gonna be one of them movies that makes people think and cry.
Okay. Well, that leads me to the last question. Thank you, Tanya, because that's a good segue for the women's in wrestling. Because my question is, will the AEW women's division, will it get its due? Because with the popularity of women's wrestling today and the other promotions giving the women's wrestlers their shine. They're just desserts. You have this new promotion been out for 3 years, and for some reason they can't seem to get the women's division together. No matter who they get, no matter what star they get, you only have one women's match per Dynamite. And it kind of feels like the women are an afterthought. I mean, they try, but it seems like they don't know what they're doing. So I want to know, will it actually pick up steam? Will it get prominent?
Yes. The Stars first card I got, the Nine of Pentacles and the World, they do need a lightning rod. They need a person that gains all the attention. They need a Sasha Banks. They need a Charlotte Flair, at least with the name Charlotte Flair. They need something where the lightning rod, they need a female Rock type thing too, to where she can go out, she can talk, she's charismatic. They don't really even care about the wrestling because they invested in the personality. They need a lot of balance. I got 3 balance cards. I got the Two of Pentacles, the Temperance, and the Justice. Balance, balance, and balance. So they need somebody in charge of the women's division who is focused on the women's division. Tony Khan has a football team or soccer team. He's got a football team. He's got Ring of Honor. He's got AEW and all of its shows. He's got all this stuff going on, not to mention a locker room full of malcontents and people who don't want you. And then you got another whole roster, and then you got another thing you're trying to add with a streaming service. So you can't do it by yourself, and Kenny Omega is not a booker. And so you need somebody to balance the female roster, number one, and then the female division, and focus on feuds, focus on talent, not just pretty people who can body slam each other. You need actual talent. And so if you need to call Sasha Banks, I'm sure somebody got her phone number, but you need some talent, you need some balance. But yes, it is good for the future, though. This is a ways away. But yes.
Wait a minute, Johnny, you're telling me Paige wasn't it?
You mean Brokeneck Mountain? No, she was not.
What you got, Tanya?
Well, I got that they are going to be successful. Yes, they're going to watch their money come in and grow, but they are also going to be changing some stereotypes, putting some things to bed. Women coming into an empowerment per se, but yeah, it's with good management, with good front people. It's gonna be good. But they're gonna put some things to bed. They're gonna murder some things that need to die, some sexist things, some stereotypical things that need to die.
I would love that. Where you had a company where the women's wrestlers didn't look the same, where you allowed more Awesome Kong like wrestlers, where you allowed more China like wrestlers. You can have this, but it's good for the skinny and the blonde hair and all of that, especially if you put her up against the China type thing. That way you have the David and Goliath thing, to where now she has to chop down this big monster like Awesome Kong and Gail King type thing. So it's well, anyway. But yeah, it would be great if you had some people, because the men are allowed to look like whatever, but the women all have to be Barbie dolls, and so it would be nice to break that up.
It would be nice. I mean, with Impact, they kind of do it. Too bad only like 10 people watch Impact. And it's such a shame, because you hear a lot about the women over there and how they do have more variety. That's why when women get let go from WWE, you don't see them rush straight to AEW. That's for a reason. They usually go to Impact at least for a little while before
and that's why I'm telling you, there is a whole little triangle under the table between those 3 entities that they are moving people around under the table.
You don't have nowhere else to go. That you're gonna go to
yeah, where you gonna go? New Japan?
Saudi Arabia, Japan. Yeah, there are other markets.
There's Japan. That's about it. I mean, any other place. I mean, you have
Saudi
Glow.
Arabia has a
Saudi
good
Arabia is beholden to the WWE.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
They got the
That's a
most.
whole mess with that. Whoo, that's a whole nother.
Before you finish, though, I had one question if I could slip in too, but
Of
after
course.
after you get your cards.
Yeah. Well, see, you guys have more hope than I have than what I see here. Because what I see here is them making plans to do stuff, people being happy about their plans to do things, like they might come out with some announcements and yada yada yada. But I got the Tower card and the Devil in reverse right in the middle here. So there's some crazy stuff that might pop off with this women's division, or maybe there might be some things unearthed as to why the women's division is noticeably lacking, as not only within that company, but in comparison to the other companies. Even WWE has more women's matches and gives the women more time than AEW, which should be odd because it's been 3 years. You know what I mean? And you bring in Madison Rain. What the fuck is Madison Rain gonna do? I'm sorry, I just had to get a little rant off. What is she supposed to do? I don't know why they're bringing these women here, and he keeps adding to the roster, but you keep adding more males. It's like it's like there's no problem. We don't have no problem with you adding to the roster, but where you should be adding more women to the roster and not more men. Every time I look up, it's another male signing. It's like, yeah, but you have a whole women's division that you could be signing more people. You know what I mean? And then after that, we got the 10 of cups in reverse, and then the 2 of cups. So there's some unhappy partnership that's going to happen. Tony is going to try to get more money, I think, to put towards the women's division. I think that might have something to do with the Tower card in reverse, as far as him trying to start something, but it's going to crumble. Whatever it is, I don't see it working.
That's a problem, I think, too. You don't need more money into it. You need a better mind to book it.
Exactly.
You need a better mind to hire people. You don't have enough talent. You got too many people, though. All those people are not talented. All of those people, male or female. Get the one like your big swoles. Get them people out of the way. They don't know how to wrestle. You know they don't know how to wrestle, but you want to fill the card with something. Fine. Go to the indie shows and find the people that would love a contract and everybody loves them and everybody talks good about them, that type of thing, if you don't want just the big names. But try to recruit some of these big people. The Sasha Bankses out there. Go find these people that you know how to wrestle, already have a fan base. Whoever is booking it, fire them immediately, and then find somebody who knows what they're doing, who can take women's wrestling. WWE, at the very least, gave women's wrestling a main event at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
That is a risk when people don't watch women's wrestling in the same numbers they do as men's wrestling. But at some point, you have to highlight it. You have to make it seem important. You have to put important people there. You have to create a story somebody's interested in. You can't just start throwing people on TV and say, watch this match. That's not going to happen.
Exactly. Especially when you don't have any stories that get people invested into it. It's like, okay, that's a great match. It's great athletics. It's good sportsmanship, but it's predetermined. So what the do I care about this tournament? I don't care. Can you give me an actual story to sting my teeth?
Make it interesting. I might as well watch the news if I just want to be bored.
I mean, the whole thing with Ricky Starks this past week, it just pissed me off because you built this boy. He is so white hot. People regard him as the next Rock, which I don't like comparisons. He's his own wrestler, but they obviously there's momentum behind him, and just the booking is the problem. It's not even the wrestlers because they're talented. But why Miro hasn't been on TV, only wrestled a few times this whole
and you paid all that money for him.
Where is he? Where is he? Sitting at home? Why?
And then the first time we seen him, he had a pink Mickey Mouse shirt on and some ugly pants. So it's like, this is your brute that they advertised him in the WWE as some big, giant, massive, dangerous person. And then when we see him over here, he's playing video games that aren't plugged in with his Mickey Mouse shirt on.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
He got around to being a big brute, but why did you not start with that? I guess he's supposed to say, well, that's a part of the story. You start off as a video gamer and then you turn it. It's like, all right, give it a rest. All right.
If people think he's a badass, keep him a badass. He doesn't need to be in a Land's End catalog. It's just like, no. Anyway, my question was, Matt Riddle has been sent to rehab.
Oh, yes. I heard about that.
Does he have a serious issue that's going to be ongoing like a Jeff Hardy where it's going to be forever? Or is he going to stay sober and not fail any more tests?
And what I don't understand is he failed how? Off of what? Because it cannot have been off of the greenery because you have been pushing this man out here as a pothead. Like, that's his whole business. So I know for a fact, please don't tell me that you suspended this man for no greenery. It has to be something else. It has to be
something else.
Yeah.
It's something else.
I would hope it's something else, even to the point to where these people, the damage they do to their body on a nightly basis, if they smoke marijuana to cope with the pain, you should encourage that because it beats a soma or something else. So it's,
and that's the problem. They got him smoking weed too late. He was doped up with opioids for so long. That's his problem. And I hate to say this, but this is a battle he's gonna face for the rest of his life. This is his war.
I think the problem is the arena in which he's in. Anybody, because I have the faith in the human condition, anybody can sober up. The problem with sobering up is you don't leave the earth afterwards. All of the stuff that you tried to get away from is still here. So if you quit drinking, you still have to pass the liquor store. You still have to go out to eat, and then everybody around you is drinking or something of that nature. Or if you stop smoking, you're going to walk past somebody on the sidewalk blowing all the toxic fumes in the air. So it's like the Six of Swords. He can make it through this because he kind of has to, because the WWE is now looking at you with the microscope and saying, if you don't, you're fired. He can transition. He can get out of this one, but it's troubled because the Six of Swords is a transition, but you carry all the swords with you, which means he still has the baggage. He still has the monkey on his back, all that type of thing. This is forced. Therefore, you're doing it because it's forced. But you have to, in yourself, to a swords, make the decision to never do it again. And then there comes the hard part because you didn't leave the earth. All that stuff is still here. And the arena he's in makes it easier for him to get it, whatever it is that he is hooked on. Somebody can go get it, leave it in your hotel room. Nobody knows nothing about it until they pop you on a test again. But I think he's going to have an ongoing struggle because the Six of Swords is not easy.
What you got, Tanya?
I already read mine.
Oh, you what? Oh, shoot. I got the Three of Wands and then the Seven of Pentacles. So trying to get the help that he needs. But I don't think, as far as actually putting the time in, I don't think he's gonna get the outcome that we're all hoping, because you got the Sun in reverse, so mediocre outcome. Then you got the 10 of Wands, so it's gonna be a burden. Like, I'm saying that it's gonna be a struggle for him to manage this for a minute, and so not looking too good. Yeah, not looking too good. No. So my last question. All right, so this is my official last question because I think the last one was last question, but I thought of another one. Is wrestling dying?
Yes. I have not watched wrestling since I don't even know when, but it's been a very, very, very long time, like maybe 15 years long time. Like it's been a very long time. Now, mind you, I still like all the wrestling news, so but don't ask me what match was on. I don't know.
You don't even want to know. I don't watch wrestling. I haven't watched wrestling since probably 1993.
And I want to add a caveat to that. Why is it dying? What reason?
If it is, let's.
If it is.
If it is. Let's see.
Wrestling.
I mean, ratings wise, I would say so, but people consume media differently now because of the streaming. Because I watched a wrestling match the other day, but it was from like 19 whatever when the screen was all grainy still back. So it's like
the old one.
It was like, because this is the way it used to be done, and it made sense. It looked nice, and it was only 7 minutes long. So, the moon and the star, which means your path forward is covered in murkiness. You got the 9 of Cups and the 7 of Wands defending against over-idealization of something. The WWE has a very big problem with that, the over-idealization of something to where all I really want you to see is the lights and the bright and the shining. The substance of the product is lacking. So it's the beautiful hamburger on TV, and then when you get to the restaurant, it looks like garbage. And so the problem is they want you to be more hyped about the name of the promotion and the name of the stars, not the content of the show. So your path forward is hidden in murkiness. It's very hard to get out of the moon because the moon takes some acceptance that you are tricking yourself. It takes some acceptance that your reality is not real. It's in your mind. And so you need to change your perception. That way you change the reality. The 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles in the world. You need some investments. Break open whatever it is that you're trying to hold back, and then you will find your audience again. Maybe get out of the PG era, or maybe just get out of stupid booking. Whatever this is that's holding you back with the 4 of Pentacles, maybe it's just a fear. It's not working. But the word of warning is the support, Queen of Cups. It's not there. Word of solace is the Queen of Swords. You can get there. You need better ideas. Queen of Pentacles is the dependability. The wrestling audience is still there. They're just not watching wrestling. And so the sad part is the podcast on YouTube and the podcast land get more ratings than your TV shows. Because people would like to hear about wrestling or hear about old people talk about wrestling, but they don't want to watch wrestling. And so your audience is still around. It's not they died off or something. This isn't like coal mines. No, they're all still here. They're just not watching. Find a way to make them watch again. That's all.
Okay.
That was very astute.
Yes. What you got, Tanya?
Well, I got the yes that it is waning. It is waning. But the why that it's waning still. There's that whole dilemma on where do you go from here? Where's the excitement? You got to do something different. I got the Wheel of Fortune and the 3 of Swords as well. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. And that's it in a nutshell. It's waning because they haven't changed their recipe, and a whole bunch of people are tired of the same flavor.
Yeah,
that's a good word. Recipe. What do you keep putting in here that nobody wants? Take it out. Stop.
And that's for this trout. Well, I mean, I get something similar. I get first thing out the gate is like people being apathetic and disappointed with the product. I got the world card up underneath that. Like people just say, "All right, I'm kind of done with this. I'm done with feeling like I'm not getting anything out of it." This is with the Eight of Pentacles. I got the wrestling company still working. They're still trying to come up with different ways to get people to tune in and watch. But you got the King of Wands in reverse, so it's erratic. Like the nature of the booking and everything is erratic. You got the Knight of Cups in reverse with the false promises, basically like, oh well, we'll do this, like wrestling fans hoping that it will get better based off of the promises that, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, thinking that there'll be some kind of justice coming to us, but ultimately it's just more of false promises because they don't know what they're doing. You got the Temperance card in the sky, which is in reverse, so it's out of balance again. And then you got the Three of Pentacles in reverse on the bottom of the deck, which is people just don't know how to work together to get the product. Like between the fans, the bookers, and the wrestlers, if I'm gonna have three, it's not gelling. People aren't cooperating in a way where you can get a product to where everybody would want to pull together and watch and grow in steam. So until wrestling gets back in balance again, whether it is the imbalance being too many bangers, not enough story, or too much story, not enough bangers, or not enough time, or not enough star power, it's just out of balance. You know what I mean? And you got to find a way to cooperate better to get the result that you want for fans to watch. Because it's like, I wouldn't tell you the amount of people I talk to. Like, well, I used to watch wrestling. It's so many people to say that to me. Well, I used to watch it. It's like, you don't watch it now? Man, nah. Yeah, I don't. Dang. Shoot.
I've seen one match from AEW because I'm like, what is happening? And I seen it on YouTube. It was Marco Stunt versus Jack Swagger, whatever his name is now. And I'm like, he's 6'5", an MMA fighter, and he's about to wrestle a 5', 98-pound guy.
I remember that match.
Why? And then he reached for him and he dove under his arms and then went out the ring and did a dance. And
yep, I remember that match.
Because to me, if you put on a match, even in the WWE, when they put Hornswoggle in the matches, I'm thinking, if you're going to put a contest between two people, you are trying to convince me that one of them can beat the other one. You cannot convince me that Jack Swagger, 6'5" MMA fighter, is going to fight a 5', 98-pound guy, and there's going to be a contest. Now, if it was supposed to be just he came in and destroyed him because you're trying to get Jack Swagger to be a heel, fine. Get him in there, make him pull his hair, throw him around the like, make him seem like he's beating up on the guy, like he's being a bully. Then I get it, but don't dance and jump under his legs and all that kind of. That's just stupid. I was like, you know what, this is not for me. I couldn't do it.
And I liked Marco, but I liked Marco in the fact of, like, you have to make it make sense to me. Like, I'm not just gonna hate on the boy because he's small, like do the cornet thing and just hate on him, because you can use it in a way that makes sense. It's just that they don't do it, or you don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? You can make anything make sense.
If he was a heel, especially a manager, I would love it because he's annoying, and that would be great. Jump on the ring and pull a hair, pull a leg, like do something that would coincide with your annoyingness. Like, I would then, okay, but don't put him in the ring with somebody 6'4" and say they're about to wrestle. I can't do it. He was Rey Mysterio. I can buy it because he looks like a man. He's like big, but Marco, I can't.
You didn't see Marco Stunt when they brought him out, and his gimmick was that he could sing.
Oh, good God, no. I haven't watched that show ever. I've seen that on YouTube.
He came out on Dark and he was singing. And he was like a contestant in or he was going on one of those singing shows or whatnot. I mean, he could sing a little bit. Nothing was wrong with that. You know, he broke a guitar out and everything else, but it's just like, all right, what are we doing? What else are we doing? Is this going to be incorporated in the storyline? And that's another thing too with AEW. Like with your women's division, even if you don't want to have 2 women's matches on a show, right, a 2-hour show, if you can incorporate the women in other ways to where the males and the females interact other than, hey, this is my husband that I'm now with all of the time, and kind of takes away from my solo life. That's what I'm saying.
Because why does she have to be only important because he's important? Like, if you're going to highlight them. Give them, they can have 2 matches, but they need to make sense and be good matches with good people. The same goes for the men too. That would be a great thing if you were to do that. But don't just, because I will tell you, if it wasn't Jacqueline or like Lita or Ivory back in the day, I'm not watching that. Or Stratus. It's like those are the bathroom matches, because those are the people who are the stars. They make wrestling look like wrestling, and not just girls pulling each other's hair. And so because they looked different, they weren't Barbie dolls, they looked like women. And so it's like, I can watch this, but just 2 people with sparkly tights, I can't do it. Like, just no. Y'all ain't doing nothing but screeching and pulling each other's hair, and I ain't watching it.
No, perfect case in point. You got Madison Rain out there. Why do you have Madison Rain out there just to get beat up? You hired her in here. She's supposed to be some elder or something of the women's division in the back. I don't see no change. Do you see it? I don't really see it. I mean, Britt Baker is still on my screen all the damn time, and she's not even women's champion.
Who is?
Jamie Hayter.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Jamie Hayter.
I'm happy. I'm excited. A dynamic name.
Yeah, she is incredible. She's great. I'm happy she's got the title. I mean, there was a whole fiasco with that and Thunder Rosa, and is her back broke? Is her not? Her back isn't broke, and she has the title, but then we're making her relinquish the title. But then everybody can't stand Thunder Rosa for some reason because
I thought she was popular, or at least good.
No. Popular, yes. Good, to be determined, because in order to be a good or phenomenal wrestler, you're gonna have to sell regardless of if you win or lose, or if you like the person or not, or because it's your job.
She got business for herself then.
Yeah, there was some stories coming out about that where she would sandbag people. So yeah, so that was, they made her drop the title, and now Jamie Hayter now has the women's title, which is good. She's very over. The wrestling fans, they happen to really get behind her, so that was a good thing. You have Jade, who still is not the best wrestler, but as far as a black woman who is
a striking look, though.
Yeah, she has it. She has it. They're doing well with her, I think. But, you know, as far as some other women like Diamante, she fell off the face of the planet. I don't know what happened to her. Her girlfriend is still kind of on TV. Maybe they might be getting shipped back to Impact. We don't know.
The dark hole of wrestling.
But they are the cockroach of wrestling, because they will not die.
They will not die.
They will not. Impact Wrestling will probably be here longer than anybody else, because they keep coming back. Just when you think Impact is down for the count, you can shade them however you want, saying that only 10 people watch, and that might be true.
10 people watch it, and 7 of them just forgot to change the channel. That's all. It's just all in the background.
But they're doing their thing over there, damn it. They're doing their thing. And with that, I think we're gonna close it for today. Thank you two for being on.
Thank you for inviting.
No problem. Getting some wrestling tea out there. I always have so much fun with y'all.
I like gossip, so I ain't gonna lie.
All right, everybody, have a good holiday, and hopefully we can do this again. I'll set something up for sure. All right. All right.